Is it porn? Is it erotica? Or is it simply pop art? These are not women as objects, they're subjects. At least that's how Alan Jones describes them. And breasts are what led him away from pure two-dimensional painting. So, is this the first time you break away from the painting into the three-dimensional?
It is pretty well, yes.
So all these figures behind us are what flowed from, from falses you picked up in Times Square?
Correct. I mean, the fact is that when to fix this thin plastic to the wooden panel, I needed to fill the breast with resin, which would have some bolts in it. But of course, what I didn't know, because I wasn't a technician, was that if you put that much resin in, it melts the plastic. So I had to go back to Times Square and get another pair, and I went back 3 times, and I realised the man in the shop obviously thought, this is a rather more obsessive person than usual.
One of the reasons why, apparently, life for you in Britain has been difficult, but so successful in so many other countries, is that feminists felt you were really, in the end, simply exploiting the female figure and not really bringing anything back in return.
Well, the tribute to that image is that you're talking about it 55 years, nearly 50-odd years after I made some furniture, which happened to be really convenient to the then militant feminist cause. And if I had been a militant feminist at the time, I no doubt would have thought it was a terrific image to use. But in fact, it has nothing to do with objectifying women. In fact, women are the subject. The sculpture is the object.
Doesn't the word subjugation come into your head?
It didn't come into mind.
But look at this. I mean, she is incapacitated by somebody's desire to sit on her.
That's right, and that calls into question really about what an art object, what the figure can be, because it's in fact it's not a chair. It happens to look like one, but it's a sculpture.
It was his sculpture that incensed Professor Laura Mulvey back in the 1970s. She fired the key feminist salvo against Jones's work.
There is a language of fetishism, an iconography of fetishism that one could decipher in a way that an art historian might decipher the ins and outs of medieval religious iconography.
But does that leave a feminist appreciating what he's done or decrying it?
Definitely decrying it. What he, to my mind, brought very brilliantly to the surface was this mass of anxiety that exists, swirling around just beneath this respectability of images of women.
Something that resides in men?
Resides in men, in which women aren't really there. Women are only there in absence. So their image actually refers to and signifies something which only relates to men and not to women.
But the professor was well outnumbered by those who loved Alan Jones' work, not least the great 1980s pop star, Adam Ant.
Alan's work influenced me to, you know, you could see behind the paintings the working drawings, the reference material from various magazines that I'd not seen before. And there was an element of I think, sex, aversion, style and humour, the 4 things that I think are tantamount in rock and roll. So I just think it was a great theme for me to follow.
I believe you came and knocked my door when you were a student. My twin daughters, who were then about this high, said, Daddy, Daddy, there's 2 young men at the door. They didn't say young men, they said 2 men at the door. And so when I went up, it was Adam, and it turned out then to be Johnny Rotten.
There was a great taboo around the whole idea of burlesque and S&M, and now pretty much London or any city in the world has got a burlesque club where young people go and enjoy themselves and play music and dress up, and I think it's, you know, really that he was years ahead of his time.
Now let's return to the spectacle that is all